Welcome back, everybody. This is Caverns. In the last part, we killed Esmeralda. Sort of. And in this part, we have an unwanted guest at our house, and my ankle is incredibly itchy, so I'm going to take a minute to scratch it. Hello, sir. How are you today? Did Pearl come? Not yet. So then this note! Damn it, the jewel hunter has kidnapped her. Let's go find her. We have no clues. Let's go check outside. Cosmo! This is either going to be an alcoholic beverage or a fairy. Now I need to clarify something real quick as I continue to scratch my ankle. I may have lied to you a couple parts ago in saying that there was no longer anything that needed to be done with the orchards. A couple quests from now, we will be doing something that requires a flat seed, which if you have one, then ignore this, because this message doesn't apply to you. But if you do not have one, I am not quite sure whether or not you can buy one from a shop. I'll have to look into it. I've always kind of had one on hand from farming and stuff, or from growing crops, or produce, or whatever term you wish to use. So, currently I have some things growing in both my orchards in an attempt to get a flat seed. I'm going to look up where else you can get one. If you need it, you're going to need a whole bunch of other stuff, but you're also going to need a flat seed, which is probably the most difficult to get, because I know for a fact the rest of them can be bought elsewhere. So that note that Elazar said he had pointed us to the Mickey of Caverns. You can talk to that Mad Mallard, and he says that a girl and a fairy-looking girl in a short skirt and a long jacket with nice legs we're headed up in this direction, so this is the direction we need to go. This quest is actually fairly short, and it takes place in the Mickey of Caverns, which we unlocked in the first quest we did in this entire game. So, the enemies are going to be very, very low level. And I have some good news for some of us, in that this series is only going to be about 5 or 6 more parts long. Coming down to the end, folks. Isn't that exciting? Look at you, you're weird. I saw a stone here. A tiny stone giving off beautiful light. It was like the stars in the night sky. And then he bows because he's a friggin' weird looking... Who are you? I am not one of renown. Ho-ho! Foreshadowing. I'm looking... I don't know how that's foreshadowing. It doesn't really make sense. I'm looking for a friend. Have you seen a girl wearing a white dress? Yes, I saw her. She went in the cavern with Sandra. They took the straight-ahead path. And Alonso tells us to wait, but then he says nothing. Clearly, he's doing something. And his core has never been more clouded. Well, you know what we have to say about you and your core? Poppycock. And mushbooms. And this is actually my second time recording this part, because after I was having a good string of luck lately, and then everything kind of fell to shit. So that's no good. But it's no big deal, except for the fact that I kinda need to get through this because I am currently running out of time. It's actually New Year's Day, and it's actually kinda quiet. It's been pretty quiet. Oh, I love this music. It's so good. Oh man, hold on. We're just gonna listen to this for a couple of seconds. Alright, that's enough. Couple of seconds. And Sandra and Pearl are locked in a heated debate over who's prettier. I'm assuming that's what girls debate about when they hate each other. Why, you little... Get away from Pearl. No, I'm prettier. No, I'm prettier. No, she's prettier. And then I'm just over here with my super awesome funky red hat, and she throws a card at him, pretending to be a certain X-Men. And Pearl is like, no, you were the prettiest of all of us, and we all knew it. I don't even know. It's like that episode of Scrubs. I don't know if you've seen it, where JD keeps talking about pie to that family when, you know what I'm talking about. Oh, look who it is, someone of no renown. He's the king, apparently. And all the Jumi, why do you not cry, blah, blah, blah. So, Sandra is actually, in case you couldn't pick it up, because you actually thought they were talking about who was prettiest, Sandra is still trying to get the Jumi to cry so that she can harness their powers. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. She doesn't need the power to heal, just the power to fight. Fight. Combo breaker. That doesn't make sense. And she transforms into Black Pearl. How she is able to stand on land, I don't know. But she's clearly intimidating enough to cause Sandra to run away. And we gain her as a party member. And we had to fight a boss. And I'll give you 5 internet points, redeemable at any internet store, if you guess which boss we're going to fight. But it's too late. If you didn't guess before this boss came out, you don't get any of the internet points. You get none. You lose. Good day to you, sir. So, Jewel Beasts, I mentioned earlier that you're going to want to get used to them, because you're going to be seeing them quite a bit in the next couple of quests. However, they still don't really put up much of a fight. Then again, no boss in this game really does. And there's nothing else to it. Now, Black Pearl didn't show any of her abilities other than she has a super awesome and badass weapon and a really awkward stance. And the king is throwing away something, always find out the answer yourself. I remember. I'll be going now, we'll meet again, Jumi night, and then she just quickly hops over her head, which I feel like if you saw that in the real world, that would just be hilarious. But Pearl is no more, and she's sorry for the pain they were caused, and we don't have control of her character yet, and we need to talk to the king. Let's not this beautiful let stone die. That was words. So, here we are back at our house, still uninvited, still don't really want him here. Lisa's going to get some medicine, but Bud says that won't help because he's a Jumi and medicine won't work on them. And all he cares about is Pearl. So that's the end of that rather short quest, but it sets up a lot. Like how, actually, to be honest with you, I wasn't really paying attention to what Sandra and Pearl were talking about either. But I'm sure it was just more Jumi history, backstory stuff. Anyway, that was indeed a quest that we finished. So we need to go talk to our cactus about that quest that we just finished. And then we will go on to the next one, because I'm going to be squeezing in 2 quests per episode this from here on out, with the exception being the cap of the Jumi questline, which will have its own episode, obviously. So, Alazwell is currently in our bed. We don't really want him there. So in order to get him to go out, you need to keep just running up and down the stairs and talking to him, and he'll have something new to say each time you run up and down the stairs. And then after a while, he'll move on. Must find Pearl. Irk. You mustn't talk. I'm sorry, but it's too late. Stones take thousands of years to be formed. Only Jumi tears. The teardrop stone can heal instantly. But Jumi cannot cry. Jumi tears are really... Ugh. Jumi tears are really... Ugh. Well, if that's what they really are, I don't know what people see in them. Let's see what he has to say this time. What about Pearl? Tell him she's okay. So you found her? Thank you. Pearl is attached to you. Please protect her for me. I must rest. Yes, you must, except you also must get out of my bed, because in actuality, I must rest. Except not really. I need to itch my eye. Everything about me is so itchy. I apologize. I should keep it grammatically correct and say I should scratch my eye, because you scratch and itch. But I mean, really, it's just, who gives a shit? There are very few people who give a shit, and if they actually give a shit to the point where you don't want, or they don't want to be friends with you or talk to you ever because you say scratch or itch interchangeably accidentally sometimes, then you don't really want them as your friend. And you're better off without them. Anyway, Alazzo is currently gone, and there's only one real place, as of right now, that the Jumi have any, well, that Alazzo and Pearl have any real association with, aside from my frickin' house, which is Leary's Tower. So if we go talk to Alazzo, currently standing here, saying it's nothing, Pearl must be in that room, will you come with me? I guess. So obviously he's only talking about one room, the one room to rule them all, which is the Door of Fate. Now, since we've already been up there, and I'm sure I would run out of things to say rather quickly, I'm just going to cut ahead to when we're at the 10th or 11th floor, because it's pretty hiccups. Sorry about that. It's pretty straightforward how you get up there, and once you get to the top, you don't at all need to go back down. You just need to witness the event down there, and then maybe fight a boss or two. I'm not going to spoil anything, but it is a quest. And then the quest will be over, so I'm going to see you at the top. Okay, so we are here on the 10th floor, headed up to the 11th floor, where we will see the Door of Fate. Exciting stuff. I actually did end up making a wrong turn on my journey up here. Sorry about that, I had to clear my throat. However, I still made it up here in, I think, record time. So Alazzo is saying that he doesn't know how to open the door unless you know the person who's behind the door, and he couldn't open the door, which is obviously pretty silly. And oh my goodness, I love this song too. Alright, that's enough listening to that. And so Pearl and Black Pearl are talking to each other. Look at the way that Black Pearl stands. Like, her body almost makes a Z form. I don't know how can she stand like that? Your goal is to reach the stratum of Clarice. Yes. You will become the Clarice. Yes. You will succeed, Florina, and give your life to the race. So in case you didn't, or you weren't paying attention like I wasn't, basically Florina is what is known as the Clarice of the Jumi, and she's the only person left that can shed tears, I believe, or give away her life force to revive or heal other Jumis, and that's the reason why she's hidden herself away, and Pearl is apparently going to become the next person who's able to do that, so they don't want, or Pearl doesn't want to die for the sake of the Jumi race, which is a little bit selfish, but at the same rate, there was a point in time when they didn't need a position of that because they were all allowed to cry freely, but they gave that power up to protect themselves, which didn't end up working. Otherwise, we would be in this predicament, or we wouldn't be in this predicament that we're in right now. So Pearl and Black Pearl are two sides of the same coin, sort of. Alazzo is Pearl's knight, and Black Pearl, I believe, is... oh, well, we'll get into that later. But, see, like I said, you get to the top, and all you gotta do is come back down. Now we get to fight Black Pearl, and the first thing you'll notice about her is that she is luckily not a jewel beast. Second thing you'll notice is that she has a very impressive two-handed hammer. I think it's a two-handed hammer. It might count as a two-handed sword, I'm not sure. I don't even know if there's a two-handed hammer weapon in this game you're even allowed to use. She's not very difficult, but then again, what boss is? As you can see, we just made short work of her, not worth any experience. And she gets up, and most impressive, Lapis Knight, we have a deal, you leave Pearl alone for a while. Blah blah blah, blah blah blah. And she walks ever so slowly. I don't want to fight you anymore. Pearl's mine. She will come back to me. Let's face it. He who cries for a Jumi shall turn to stone. You be careful. The old saying true is... I'm not even going to cry anyway. I'm too manly to cry. Are you kidding me? Do you know who I am? I've got a funky red hood. They call me Red Hood. Or Chumpy. Sometimes. So Pearl is now back and safe. And we didn't even get thanked. Didn't even say thanks. Nothing. Nothing at all. Actually, the last time I did this quest in the previous recording that ended up getting killed, a weird glitch happened. I had never seen it before. But Alazul was stuck in the doorway, and then when Pearl ran off like she just did, he kind of just teleported away. Anyway, because with the amount of stuff that I was going to cut out, this episode is a little bit short. I'm going to show off a quick minigame that you can do. If you have 9 areas on the map, and you hold down all of the shoulder buttons, you can play a land bopper minigame. It's basically like whack-a-mole, as you will see. So the lands that are up, you press X over them and you get 10 points. If you press it over a land that's down, press X. You will lose 4 points, as you see. I am not particularly good at this game. I think my record is only in the 90s, maybe like just barely over 100. I seem to be doing pretty well right now. Wow, I'm doing... Oh... Anyway, just a fun little thing, a side thing. There's another thing that I want to show off, but I'm a little worried about spending too much time on this. So we're just going to go back home, talk to our cactus, and call it an episode here. And in the next part, we will do 2 more quests that involve the Jumi? Oh god, I just offended at least 3 people. The Jumi quest line. And I think that should be it for unwanted guests at our home, besides the 3 sproutlings nobody really likes. Those sproutlings are actually kind of annoying because they sometimes block your exit, and then you have to wait for them to move out of the way. I wish there was a way to get them off your lawn. Not to sound too much like Clint Eastwood. But anyway, that's going to do it for this episode. I've been Cosmic Goose, and I will see you in